This is the Drop Podcast where we talk golfing in the Garden State. I'm Mike Poro, and this is Ryan Coulott.
What's up, Drop Pod people? Mike and I here at Great Gorge Golf Club up in Vernon, New Jersey. Mike, we had a nice little round up here. We played the rail and quarry 18 holes. They do have a third one called, why am I blanking on? The Lake, thank you. It's the old Playboy Club up here. The old Hugh Hefner Playboy Hotel. They got Hef's Hut. It's all kind of an homage to kind of the history here. So we're going to get into that a little bit, but let's start here. What'd you think of the day?
Yeah, before we get going, we got to give our thank yous real quick, get them out in order. We can't do this without, meeting great people and connecting with a lot of like-minded people trying to, showcase the good product that they have here. Sure. And it's not only the golf course, but it's the amenities that come with it. So, big time thank you to David, Attila, Sylvia, Kyle. They've been the people behind the scenes kind of working with us, coordinating this, trying to find a date and time to get up because, for us, it's not in our backyard. It's a little bit of a hike. So real important that we say thank you to you for to starting this off. But the golf course, listen, I think it has that history to it. When you start talking Playboy, you start talking Hugh Hefner, a lot of eyes start to perk and a lot of heads are picking up and everybody's looking around kind of wondering really what does that entail? And kind of hearing the stories from David about how this place was shut down, it was neglected, it was forgotten about, to
fully closed for 2 years.
Yeah, to the transformation to what it is right now. Big time credit to the superintendent for putting this whole thing together. But we were fortunate enough to play 18 holes. We got to go visit the rail side first, followed by the quarry back 9 as our back. So let's start on the front side. Okay, let's start with the rail. Initial thoughts setting up to that first tee box.
That first view that you get, Mike, is wild.
It's great.
You kind of wind up, you're up on top, and usually like when you're up on top there, if you're playing from the back, so we played the blues today, so we were as far back as we could be. Usually when you're up there, you have like a little bit of a downslope, and it'll walk into another tee box. This was a cliff. I mean, it was 89 degrees straight down. Not quite 90, but it was a dead straight drop down off the face of a cliff, which was wild to hit off of. It was literally like hitting off of one mountain onto down onto the fairway. So that was really pretty cool to have there.
And being here as the sun is rising too, with that view in a distance with the mountains, it's like you want to talk about optics. Well, that nailed it to start the day.
Yeah, it did. It did.
It was a perfect start. It was a perfect setting. And as, you kind of went through the front 9, I was really impressed with how well the greens rolled. A lot of things for us when we start to venture into public golf courses is kind of seeing the course conditions. That's always a question that people are asking along with the price, right? Those are the two main topics. And I guess before even so we get into the course, when you talk about price, we chatted with David ahead of time, and it is on a dynamic pricing schedule. So sometimes the price can fluctuate based upon interest. But when this thing tops out at $100, give or take, again, we've talked about it ad nauseum. Like that is the price that you're going to pay for good quality golf courses, right? Like if you want that quality product, that's the price these days. And I don't think that's outrageous because some places are charging $150, $160. So for that price to be the number, I can see why this place is jam-packed on a daily basis.
For sure. And I know that, again, when we chatted with David, he said he hates the great value word. But it's a good quality golf course. And for paying $100, that's minimum. You should expect to pay that. Golf has gotten expensive. We've talked about it ad nauseum. So $100 for a cart to play a great golf course is really, you can't ask for more than that.
No, and you're talking weekend morning too, at $100.
True.
So let's put that
in,
make sure we preface that a little bit. So
for out of town residents, non-residents, yep.
So all things considered, that is not anything for anybody to bat an eye about whatsoever. And then the course conditions itself. Like I mentioned, I'm a big greens guy, right? Let's see how the greens are rolling. Let's see if they're smooth. No bumps, no aerations, and this, exceeded expectations.
They 100% did. Yep. And subtle, too. Like they were, like you thought how many times did we putt today? Be like, oh, this is going to break a little. Put it 2 balls on the right, and it broke 3 feet.
Yeah.
I mean, it happened a lot today.
Yeah. And you better know where the mountain is in terms of going uphill and downhill, because we've learned that firsthand quite a bit out there. Because there's no doubt when, we look back at our round specifically, the golf course won. The golf course beat us today.
Oh, beat us up.
No doubt about it. So let's go through the front 9. Let's talk a little bit about some things for you that kind of stood out.
So that first shot for sure, and that first hole really, I thought it's a really good hole. You got beautiful optics. Again, like you said, the sun was kind of rising in that direction. You're up, so you can see almost everything there. I thought that was beautiful. I thought that it was a really good opening hole. And when I think we like to do this, right? Like, what's the amen corner? What's three really good holes right in a row? And I really liked 1, 2, and 3. Right off the bat, I thought it was a really good starting hole into the hardest hole on the golf course, which we also had found out there too, into one of the most unique par 3s that I've ever seen. It's long, nearing 200 yards. It was whatever those pilings are, those like cement concrete things that you may or may not have hit off of.
No, I did.
Kind of in a sand trap, like whatever the history of that is, and I'm sure that when we're done here, we're going to find out an answer to that. But like, that was such a cool hole there. I really love that stretch of opening up into, like, you didn't ease into this golf course today. With 1, 2, and 3 there.
That's 3 was definitely when you talk about that architecture that's left from whatever that was, definitely really cool. I liked 6 and 7, the back-to-back par 5s, because I thought 6, nearly 600 yards from back where we played it, was a very strategic par 5. Dogleg right. You got to kind of know where you're hitting your tee shot, and then what I learned firsthand is where that creek really comes out. I thought I had enough to carry it. Clearly I didn't. I tried to hit it again, and it stayed in the creek. I tried to hit it again, decided to stay in the creek again. I put the ball in my pocket. So I learned the hard way on number 6. But you left there appreciating that hole because it was challenging. It was unique. And it wasn't one of those ones where I thought it was like unfair. I do think if I played it a second time, you'd have more of an understanding of like, all right, I'm going to be short, or I got to take more stick to get over.
I honestly, I wouldn't go driver, and we documented my driver woes today pretty well out there. But I don't know if you go driver off the tee. I think it might be something where you go, take something off, go 3-wood, 5-wood to stay short of the water, and then go onto it, or you're going driver, something
3-wood to get
over the water, and then giving yourself a little flip wedge. So that was a great hole as well.
And then it led right to 7, the next par 5, which because for us, I think when you think par 5, you're like, all right, I'm going to get one back. A scoring opportunity.
I think that's a score. It's a scoreable. If you can hit it far enough, right? If you're playing the correct tees, you should hit it far enough to be able to at least get around the green
100%
into.
Which you then come to 7 and you have that opportunity, right? Like, all right, number 6 may be a 3-shotter, but 7 you can get there in 2, and you hit a good drive, and the way that green slopes from left to right and goes down is way more severe than you think, right? Because I'm there pin eyeing 2, thinking like, all right, I know that this is going to slope pretty good, and I hit it off the green. Right. And it is like, wow, okay.
The people listening could be like, well, maybe you flew it to the pin. No, you hit it right to where I thought that was going to be good. It just kept going and going and going and going.
And same thing for yours. You were off the back, and we thought you hit a pretty good flop shot there, and that thing just kept trickling and trickling to another 20 feet away. So
to my earlier point, that happened a lot to us, not just on those 2 shots, but there's a lot of movement in the greens, and you don't just need to listen to or read your putt, but you have to read behind the putt. Because unless your intention is to leave it short, if you go long, it might hit a ridge and miss for sure.
So I thought 6, 7 was a nice little stretch there. 7, I'd like to think that if I had a do-over, if I bought a mulligan ahead of time, I might be able to get up and down and make birdie there. But, when you wrapped up that front 9, it's not particularly short. It's 3,400 yards from the back tees. And I know some people say, oh, double out at 68, it's right in the ballpark. But I think the amount of of ups and downs changes the dynamic of how long the actual yardage indicates. And it played what felt like a lot longer than 3,400
It really
yards.
did. And I think that we kind of mentioned that a little bit out there, that there were, you think 34, that's exactly where we like to be, and that's 68, 67, 6,800. But there were a lot of shots, where we're hitting to an elevated green to where, where we might be hitting, an 8-iron. Now we're hitting 6-iron, and 6-irons into greens. You got to be a really good golfer to be able to hold that. So there was a lot of times out there where we had to, change our strategy a little bit. And again, it definitely played longer. You got to be I think it probably played closer to 7, overall between our two. Two
between,
18s.
yeah, okay, yeah. You scared me. I was just saying, not on the back,
Yeah.
not on the front house. Whoa. But yeah, listen, that was a very challenging 9, and I think, as we flipped it to the back 9, I thought that's when things got completely different in terms of what the 9 holes were.
For sure.
You know, and not many times you see a par 3 starting a 9 holes,
Yeah.
right? Or in a sense, could be starting your round, right?
Yeah.
Most of the time, it's a par 4, par 5 to get you going, and that's no easy starting hole at all.
No.
You're talking 190, 195 yards down the hill, tight green that slopes pretty good.
Yeah.
Not many spots to miss it.
Nope.
And one of 3 very challenging par 3s on the front.
And easy to get caught up if you had started on rail and we're going to quarry, or if it's your starting hole, you're not really warmed up. Easy to get caught up in looking at the views around you. Kind of the rock, you got a big old mountain rock right next to you. You got the old hotel is to your left there. You can really get distracted and not focused on your shot, and then you don't focus, you hit a bad shot, now you're in trouble, where there's a lot of trouble to be had.
Yeah, and I mean, the trouble starts right there on number 2.
Yeah.
I mean, because, that cliff falls off, and this is one of the times I think we're thankful that we played the Blues at 572 yards, because if we didn't, we might have been down the cliff and having no opportunity to
Just
really
an
hit a
awkward
second shot.
Yeah.
So, that kind of started the stretch of where I thought, this Quarry 9 was really
I
special.
really did like the Quarry 9. While I didn't play it very well, I thought it was super unique in a lot of ways, and I think right there with that silo or whatever that thing was, that big white
It looked like an old water tower.
Yeah, is that had, it said Great Gorge on it. Like that was really cool. The drop down off, again, that was one of the things that we had said. Lucky we didn't go down it because we were playing from so far back on super elevated. Like that was really cool up there too. But like coming into that one, maybe you don't rip driver because you got pretty lucky there.
Very lucky.
Where you were.
Me?
So
Very
like
lucky.
I felt good about where I hit, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna lay up anyway. I'm not getting there in 2. So it was another one that like. Yeah, that was the beginning for me of a 4 stretch hole that I thought was an excellent stretch. That's my 4-hole amen corner in the back there.
1, 2, 3, 4.
No, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, that was a good stretch.
That par 4 5th hole was really good as well.
Yeah,
beautiful views. It's aesthetically pleasing. Yeah, all those. It was a good stretch of holes there.
Yeah, and it's funny you said because I put asterisks for 4, 5, and 6 because I thought those 3 holes right there were really good. The rock outcropping too. I know what you love on 4 and 5 right there. And I'll tell you what, nonetheless, 4, 5, and 6, 3 very good holes. That 6-hole par 3 over the water.
Yeah, I decided I liked the second hole better than I liked the 6th hole. I didn't want to do the thing that you hate that I do, which is give you a 1A, B, C. So I did like the second hole, that par 5 better. But the 6th hole also, when you can't make it over the water and you go in, and then you kind of chunk a flop shot, it kind of ruins the hole for you. But beautiful, that you're at a spot where you're kind of tucked back, again, playing the back tee, so maybe the forward tees you can kind of see a little bit more, but you step to the beginning of the tee box there and you can see, again, you can see the Playboy Hotel up there, tight left. You can see the 9th tee box. You can see the rest of the course there, and you have everything in front of you. And some of them are quarry holes, some of them are rail holes. Like it was really a beautiful view from that 6 tee box there.
Yeah, and that was 5. The second shot into 5 when I was talking about how narrow it was.
That little shoot that you
Yeah,
got
that
to
little
get it
shoot.
out there.
That was
yeah.
5 on the second shot. That was
You don't
super,
usually
super
get
tight.
shoots into a green.
No.
But you got big,
Yeah,
kind
I
of like
got-
two
Yeah, I got narrow
two
up
sides
there.
to the mountain there. It
Yeah.
definitely looks like it was blasted through.
Oh,
Yeah.
and then obviously, then once you get through 7, once you get through 6, you're going to the, number 2 and number 1 ranked holes in a handicap purpose on 7 and 8, which are no easy feat because
No.
number 7, it was long. You got the water there on the left-hand side. 8, you got a super tricky green
Yeah.
leading into 9, which is like, I felt like I was walking straight on an incline up a hill.
Such a cool view coming
yeah.
into 9 there.
Such a challenging stretch there of 7, 8, and 9. So I really think that quarry 9, granted we didn't get to see the lake, but that quarry 9, we talk about it a lot. Like, what do you remember? What do you recall? What are some of the things that stand out? And literally, we just went through 1 through 9
Yeah.
on that side without missing a beat. So to me, like, that 9, if you get the opportunity to come up here or when you come up here and play, like, the quarry 9 is the 9 that you got to see.
That you want to see. Absolutely. Again, didn't see the lake, but of the 2 9s, if you were to say, hey, which one did you like better? I did like the quarry 9 better. I think the views are more what I think of when I think of, hey, I'm going up to, Vernon, New Jersey, which is, we're talking literally the Appalachian Mountains are running right through here, right? So that's what I think of when I think of, hey, I'm going up to play, and I think that those views there were excellent, and I think they did a great job shaping those holes into the landscape there.
Yeah, listen, it's a golf course for a lot of people that, I think it falls under the radar a little bit in the area that we're in because of what is around here. But it is one of those spots that it's like, wow. We even talked to 2 guys in the parking lot that ranted and raved about this place. They loved coming up here. It's fun. It's different. It's a different look on every hole. The 9s are different. And they ranted and raved about this place. And these guys are guys that come up here a lot. So, hearing what the public likes to say about different courses, and then when they speak so highly about their own, kind of validates what they got going on here.
For sure. Those 2 singing praises is exactly what they did. They like it here. They come here all the time. It's and you can see why. It's an enjoyable place to come. If you're not playing well, get your butt kicked, or if you're playing well, it's going to reward good golf.
Yeah, it's a fun challenge, and I think that's what you and I like a lot. It's demanding, but it's still fun, and I think there needs to be that common denominator that it's like, all right, it's not just going to be a chip and putt where you're going to make birdies all the time, but it's also going to be, reward the good shots, but you don't hit a good one, you're going to face the consequences,
sure.
which unfortunately we learned a lot right from the get-go.
Yeah.
Especially when my tee shot landed right behind the tree somehow on the very first hole. But nonetheless,
You couldn't get a more perfectly behind a tree.
Yeah, I know.
The odds of
Opening tee shot.
Yeah.
Opening tee shot. The ball is
That's pretty
square
funny.
behind the tree. Kind of crazy, but that comes with the territory. And no free drops. Took the unplayable.
Yeah.
Made a double bogey to start the round. But when you think about this golf course compared to others that we've seen, and I know I'm asking you on the spot, like, what do you think about this place in terms of recommending it to the average public?
Again, we've said it. It was a great golf course.
Yeah.
It's definitely a must-come play. We've talked about it. Like, should people in Cape May trek all the way up here to come? Maybe not. But it is if you're in the area, you're paying $100 for non-resident on a Saturday or Sunday morning. So that's what you're topping out at. So people are, you come up a different time, you're paying less. I think it's a great little value. And the one thing I do want to make sure we mention is that, like, this space that we're in right now, this little, like, that I'm a big 19th hole guy.
You are.
Right? And this Hef's hut here, this, we got some couches next to us. There's some tables. You got bags. You got a great view. Big bar inside. Like, this is a good spot to come hang out and play, grab some lunch afterwards. Like, this is a really good spot to play.
Yeah, and I think the one word that I keep thinking about in my head is it just has variety.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
does.
variety here, that it's not just the same kind of hole that runs parallel one way or the other.
I did like the routing. I did thought it was really cool how they having 27 holes. It's not like you go up here and it's boom, 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 and then you go over here and it's boom, 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 and then you go over. It's kind of you got kind of the rail and quarry had a couple holes that were kind of intertwined where we kind of had to go around a tee box to get there, and I really like the routing of the course.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that, when you're talking about variety, that it definitely has those unique qualities that each nine has its own identity.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see that when you're going through, like, okay, that kind of makes sense why this is called that or why this is called this one. So, yeah, I mean, listen, I know we say this a lot, but when you're in this area, and I know the big comparison at times can be the resort down the street, but this is a spot that I think that you'll have a lot of fun at. Mm-hmm. It's very enjoyable. It's player friendly, but also can be challenging if you're looking to step back to those blue tee markers and at a price that you frankly just can't beat nowadays. Yeah. It's something that you need to come take advantage of, especially if you're up in this area.
No doubt. I think you said that perfectly. We are near the Crystal Springs area. They have 5 courses there that people talk about a lot. So if you're talking about this area, I think this would be one that would go underrated, but not undervalued.
No, not at all. It's definitely a spot that, you can see why the public and the local folk here simply enjoy playing here.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, what else? Anything else to add before we send this off?
No, I think the again, everything that you're getting here, the aura, the Playboy Mansion, you got the 19th hole here, you got 27. Again, I'm going to assume that the Lake 9 is as good as the other 2. Mm-hmm. So you got 3 really good 9s here. You're going to get a different variety, like you said. I think this is a great a great spot in New Jersey, public golf.
Come check it out.
Yep.
Great Gorge Golf Club, the old Playboy Mansion Resort. Till then.
Cheers.